Very quiet. We're starting not to think that you're here. Stop. You feel spirits here, do you, Jim?
There's somebody right here.
Okay.
No one move your feet, please.
Huh? Who's in there? There is nobody in here.
Holy God.
Oh my God, that's hilarious.
That's not hilarious.
I'll just... Oh my God! Hello, I'm Richard Ryder, and this is Knock Knock Ghost. Ghosts. What are they? Are they real? Do they exist? That's what we're going to find out once and for all, seriously, because I'd like to know. My opinion of it is, once you're dead, you're dead. Get out of the way. Other people got some living to do. That's not always the case. There are people out there that believe this is true, and there are people out there who are going to prove it. Some of them are here with us today, and we're going to do it right now. Bring on the ghosts. So, to get things started, we came to Niagara-on-the-Lake. And I'm not coming alone. I'm bringing my best friend and assistant, Brian. Mostly as a sacrifice. If there are ghosts, I'm not going to be the only one getting caught.
I'm basically there to protect him from all of the things he doesn't believe in. So I provide the steaks, the garlic, the rosaries, the Hail Marys, you know, everything that just kind of keeps all things evil and creepy at bay. Because let's face it, they are real.
So now it's time to introduce you to my secret weapon, Jim Hunt. Widely considered as one of the world's top psychics, Jim spends most of his working hours walking and talking in the land of the dead. It'll be like putting a thoroughbred racehorse on a carousel. Those ghosts won't stand a chance. Neither will those kids. I hate you kids.
There are bad spirits out there. There are bad poltergeists out there. But those are the people that incite and freak them out and provoke them. If you provoke somebody who's alive, they're going to attack. And I don't do that. This is real, and nothing is going to be fake at all.
So here's how it's going to work. Brian and I are going to spend the day learning about the history and hearing all of the scary stories.
What?
Yes, it's the point.
Nobody told me about this. I have no clue. I was told it was a show about history. This is not in my contract. I'm not going to get killed by ghosts.
Anyway, then we let Jim loose. He's going to tell us what he feels and tell us what he's hearing from beyond. I hope we don't have to pay long distance.
I expect to find nothing. I expect to find nothing because I think the biggest thing that we have to contend with, the most frightening thing that is on this earth with us as humans, is our own imagination. You know, animals have real serious things to be afraid of in the dark, and they poop and pee and eat and don't care. We're the only ones who's like, what's that? And so I'm not expecting anything, but I'm open to being proven wrong. This is the point. I want there to be something that I, as a naysayer, can go, well, have I got a story for you the next time a bunch of people say there's nothing going on. And I hope I have it on film.
So Dan, here we are in the middle of Fort George, here in Niagara-on-the-Lake. When was this fort built?
The original fort was first constructed in 1796, and it was built to guard the Niagara River and also to counter Fort Niagara.
Because the filthy Americans are right over there.
I won't comment on that, but to act as a counter to Fort Niagara.
Mm-hmm. So it was built in
1796.
1796. When did it start to see action? Right away?
No, actually, relations with the United States were relatively peaceful. It's really the War of 1812, so you're looking at a number of years later is when this fort really did see a lot of action.
And initially when it was built, what was the biggest problem it had to deal with the indigenous people in the neighborhood? Or?
No, it was actually, it's really to keep an eye on the trade route. Think of the Niagara River as the St. Lawrence Seaway of 200 years ago.
So did they share that with the Americans?
Absolutely, yeah.
And so then 1812, somebody called someone fat, and all of this happened, and it saw a lot of action.
It did. Well, the Niagara region, again, was a hotbed of activity simply because if you can control the Niagara River...
You control it all.
Basically, or certainly in this area. Bottom line with waterways, you control the waterways, you will control your enemy.
Right.
And that's the reason why it's such a hotbed of activity.
And for a brief period, it was even American soil where we're standing right now.
Yeah, our real hotbed is in 1813. So the U.S. destroyed the fort from afar by artillery fire, so from across the river and Fort Niagara. And then 2 days later, actually a massive invasion and occupied this area for about 7 months.
So now what we're seeing right now is the original fort, basically, but it's all been rebuilt?
We have one original structure, and we'll have a chance to see that. It's the powder magazine at the back of the fort.
The powder magazine. Oddly enough, that didn't go.
Strangely enough, or ironically, it survived. Yeah, everything else that you see on May 25th, 1813, burnt to the ground, pounded into a smoldering ruin.
Wow. You ever been scared, nervous, problems? Look at something and go, oh God, I gotta get a new job?
You guys are gonna get this sense tonight when you're certainly following along with the ghost tours that this place is really magical at night. Mm-hmm. So you can certainly, your imagination can have...
I'm magical at night. Doesn't mean people are lining up to see it. I'm just saying. And I do make noises.
We've had accounts of furniture moving. I had a tour guide who started the story standing upright and finished the story lying on her back.
So here we are at Fort George.
Largely considered one of the most haunted places in Canada.
Some would even say in North America. And we're here for the stories, the history, and the reasons why things go bump in the night.
I don't want to know what goes bump in the night.
I've gone bump in the night, but it's a totally different show.
I'm not sure if I've had experience with ghosts as much as I've had coincidental occurrences during recreational moments. I was in a house in Buffalo in the late 80s. We were drinking. We were going out that night, and I thought someone was in a room next to the TV. I was looking at the TV, and out of the corner of my eye, I saw somebody go by the doorway. It was a bedroom, and I thought it was the girl whose bedroom it was that was in there, and that she'd walk by in a full skirt, and I'm like, why is she wearing a full skirt? We're going out dancing, which I said to the people in the room, I was like, oh, she's not here. And I'm like, well, who's in her room? Nobody was in her room. Now, I'm not sure if, a little drinky and hello gets you seeing full-skirted women walking by, or if a curtain fluttered, or I'm myopic. I don't know, but the questions are there, and those are the things I like the most.
Okay, I am here with Kyle. What's your last name, Kyle?
Upton.
Now, you work here at Fort George.
I do.
We are about to go in, but before we go in, what are your credentials? You're a scientist, I hear.
Sure, yeah. My education is in physics.
Okay.
But that doesn't really help me a whole lot for what I do at Fort George.
It doesn't help you rationalize any of the weird physical stuff that goes on?
No, it's a little bit apart, I suppose.
All right, we're going to go and talk.
I didn't do that course.
No.
Yeah.
Well, you should. Maybe that's why the problems are. We're going to go in, we're going to look at specific places, we're going to get some details from you, and I think we should just do it.
Fabulous.
Does it push in?
It's a pull, yeah.
Ah, son of a bitch. All right, look at that. Ah, that's what I wanted, the creek.
Welcome to Fort George.
Oh, it's scarier. There is activity. You do the ghost tours. You lead the ghost tours here. Have you seen or heard ghosts?
I have.
Okay. What are some of the more typical things you've seen and heard?
Yeah, I mean, the officers' quarters itself is kind of one of the, the three hot spots of ghostly activity here at Fort George. The most dramatic of it seems to be focused in this building. That the next door that we've had accounts of furniture moving. I had a tour guide who started the story standing upright and finished the story lying on her back. So the main stories that tie into this building anyway is one that's the woman in the mirror. So I guess
there's a woman in the mirror
are named, not this mirror,
okay,
but another mirror, the far side of the building that you'll find an actual 1790s era mirror.
Okay.
And although the mirror is not from Fort George, it seems that they got a pretty good deal on the artifact in that it came with its own resident. That for about 3 decades or so that we've had reports of people looking in the mirror and seeing the image of a woman that they shouldn't be seeing in the mirror.
Just in the mirror. They don't see her on the grounds or around the...
That's how it started. Probably about 8 or 9 years into the ghost tour, then something seems seemed to have changed, and we started having people report, similar descriptions of a woman, but inside the room where the mirror is located. So whether she found her way out or I don't know.
The mirror definitely showed a sense of vanity for everyone trying to take care of themselves, but it was very cool to have the mirror watching us. Instead of us looking at ourselves, that mirror was pretty well projecting so much energy. That's a protection mechanism for most spirits. They can go in there unseen and just watch us through the mirror. Painting, I didn't get very much of, other than what was up there. I wasn't feeling enough of it, but it still was an eerie feeling, because maybe it was just myself, even human, feeling like I was being watched by that portrait.
So now this painting, this is another thing that people talk about.
That's right, yeah. This is.
So who is this?
This is Queen Charlotte, wife of George III.
Lovely.
And again, like the mirror, this is an actual historic piece. Now, but I guess the curious thing about the painting is that people, consistently reported that there was something off about the painting. There was like a fogginess or emotion associated with the painting. In some cases, that it seemed like she was carrying on a quiet conversation here in the room. On other occasions, fog kind of sets into the painting, and what materializes as a male figure rather than the painting of Queen Charlotte.
No. Well, it's funny because when you look back and forth, like, she's not facing you, so there's no captive, stare, but the glare on the painting, you can see how it would look foggy.
Yeah, and certainly, my experience of hearing people tell these stories, because usually they were telling me, going, look at my expensive infrared camera. Right. Look, you can see the motion. And I'm going, it's just the way that the camera is taking the pictures in infrared.
But when you hear different people say the same story, different days over different years, and none of these people are connected, you have to hold something up to it.
That's right.
Wow.
And then when I came in here one night, it was probably a Halloween tour, when we were in the building, and I came into the center of the room and turned to look at Queen Charlotte, and I'm going, well, okay, they weren't making it up, because I'm here 6 feet away and I can see this kind of weird
glare, foggy
motion.
Yeah. Because it's funny, I can see how, even just looking down and looking back up, even the size of her wig in the painting, it certainly lends to other shapes. I could see how a trick of the eye would certainly play into this, but I would be very impressed if it changed or she started talking. Now! No, see nothing. I don't know.
I have been able to see spirit, ghosts, any type of anomaly, which would be orbs around people, which are beautiful, beautiful white circles of light that can sometimes be red, orange, from the age of 5 or 6. Try and explain that to your 5 or 6-year-old friend beside you and say, oh, look at me, I see a whole nice white light around you. It was a little bit of a difficult childhood to grow up with, but it was a lot of fun all at the same time, because even if I was alone, I had a lot of friends around me. The soldier who guards here, could you come downstairs and say hi to us? Do you want to at least show us some form of activity? Or do you want to wait until this evening to scare everybody?
You can't deny within an hour of meeting Jim that he's having conversations. If you've ever been on a film set with somebody who's part of the team with a little Madonna phone up on their face, and you're talking to them, and all of a sudden they do this, and then they do this, and they go copy that, and then they go back to you. That's Jim, but without the film set.
I do not know a thing. I don't know anything about the home, anything about the area. If it was a business, I don't know anything about the business. It is carte blanche, something new for me to walk into. If I found out the history, I don't think that it would be professional of me to put that out there, because I'd know something. I always like the silence of the crew or the people that I'm working with, or the family that I'm working with. The less I know, the better information I get for everybody around.
So the answer is Jim knows nothing except what he's told, and those ghosts are sneaky.
They're ignoring us all. They're all moving in a fury. And they're all pointing to different things. Everyone's pointing to something different. And they're scurrying back and forth, and you're watching people there's a lot of coughing. A lot of people holding their throat, holding onto their stomachs. They're extremely, extremely cold. How you're looking at me is how I look at the spirits. They represent themselves in so many different ways. A majority of them as being a physical medium. When I act into that form, or that's how I allow the energy to come through, they talk through me or beside me, and I sort of let them enter into me so that they can have that conversation, so that I can feel them a little bit more. So I get to feel their emotion, I get to feel what they had seen presently at that time, and a majority of the time it's not always the best. We're right in the activity of the hospital. Behind us, my lights are going off like crazy right now. They're staying solid. They're actually asking us if they can go home. They're asking me if they can go home. They don't know why they're here. They don't know. They were only here for a short time and they were very sick. I feel very bad for them. They go to a light, but then they don't go to the light. They're afraid to go. If they go, their families will be upset that they didn't come home. It's staying at a solid yellow because they're not moving. They're all around us. That's very unusual for this to stay this solid for this length of time. Usually they don't have enough energy to stay, but because there's so much spirit activity here right now, they're just staying in here, and this is in the middle of the afternoon. This is unreal for most people to feel and see at the same time. Here they were always preparing, being told like they're pushing stuff into tubes, so it's got to be a gun, and they're working on their rifles or something. And they're doing it, and they know that this is not even gonna be, they're doing this and they're gonna all die anyway. But they're doing it at any time. The closer I get to that window where he watches, the more activity I get. You're more than welcome to borrow some of the energy off of that, so that you can manifest, bring yourself towards us. We will be here again this evening to see you. And I know you don't like me here, and I know you don't like Kyle. Who is Philippe? You don't want to show off? You've been showing off to everybody else. Why are you trying to piss everybody else off? And you're afraid of me? I carry no weapons. You're always fearful of weapons. Not any smarter than anybody else in here. And we're not afraid of you. Oh. Walked away. Can you tell me how old you are, please? I don't want to die.
Laser grid, check.
Cross, check.
EMF meter, check.
Garlic, check.
Ooh, night vision. Camera, check. Night vision light, it won't work without that.
Wooden stake.
Spirit box, or as I like to call it, crappy radio, and, well, just a light, because I'm scared.
And the most important thing of all.
What the hell are those for?
They make me happy. These aren't working!
The whole of the mess hall was creepy. Even before the lights went out, I was creeped out. And when all of a sudden it was informed that we were going to be turning all the lights off deliberately, so we could deliberately be in a dark that's haunted, that was okay, sure, why not? I started crying on the inside, and that right there just kind of set the tone for how my night was going to go. I really don't know what else to say about that. I was completely terrified. It was the scariest experience of my life.
Hi, everybody. We're not here to hurt you. We're only here to talk to you. We don't want to displace your energy. We're just interested in what you have to tell us. Is there a story that you can let us know? Could you please knock or move one of the chairs? Let us know what's going on, just to let us know what's happening with everybody, please. We're very friendly. We'll be quiet for a second and just let us know what's going on, please. Please knock on our door. We'll all play with you now.
Is there anyone in the room with us? Is the lady of the house here? Can you knock? Oh, is there a vent right here? Yes.
And he's standing very tall. He's
Yes.
looking at all of us right now.
Okay. Is he happy? Are you happy that we're here, or are you upset?
He'd like to know why we're here. He wants to know why you're living here.
We just want to get to know you. Can you knock on the wall? Can you move a chair? What's your name?
His name is Stan.
Stan?
Yep.
Stan, can you knock on the wall for us? What?
That's nothing for you guys.
Okay. Who did that?
Holy crap.
Who did that? My sole reason for having Brian with us was so that the ghost would get him first. I didn't want to be caught up in any mad grab from Hades and get sucked down by accident. I figure if they go for him, like moths to a flame, he's the brightest thing in the room just on sheer nerves alone. So I thought by bringing him in, that way it would be a distraction. I could hide behind his aura of fear. But also, him being so scared makes me feel silly about my own fears, so I can kind of butch up. So basically a twofer, making me look better and being the first to get grabbed.
Oh my God. He's moving away now. He's completely away from you, Brian.
Okay. Oh my God! Oh my God! Oh my God!
It's okay. It's all right.
Who did that? Who's in there? There is nobody in here.
Holy God.
Oh my God, that's hilarious.
Not hilarious.
Holy shit, that whole chair moved.
That was amazing.
Well, the funny thing is that I'm filming over there and I watched the chair move in the screen and I
So when the chair moved, it was very, very scary. I screamed like the little girl that I am, because inside I'm 12. And, but then we realized it wasn't what we thought it was. And so that was kind of funny, but not at the same time, because I'm very, very jumpy with anything dark and scary. And so I'm not really, as funny as it was, not really surprised I reacted the way I did, only because of how I am. But for Richard to get a reaction out of him, that's really what kind of got me going, because he's very much a lot more grounded when it comes to these things than I am. But when the camera wasn't usable afterwards and it started going fuzzy and fritzy and stuff, that was something else. It's not like the camera people are going to deliberately mess up the equipment so we can't use it for a few minutes. You know, like time is of the essence. So when that started not working properly, that was concerning, because like, what is doing that? Stop it.
Yeah, it's still recording, but I'm getting all interference.
This is the thing that's weird too, because my camera cut out right after the chair moved, which I wasn't having a problem with it up till then. And maybe, you know, I squeezed it too hard, maybe, but I don't think that squeezing a camera makes it go off. The one thing that anyone like Jim Hunt will tell you is we're energy, and these energies feed off of our energies. And I'm a lot of energy when I scream. I'm not saying something didn't come in for a sip.
Seeing the chair move took everybody's emotions another level higher. Our frantic energy was getting their energy more excited. So maybe that was a blessing in disguise for some of the things that happened later on that night. Most of the energy I get that is, they don't know why they were here, and they don't know why they were fighting, but they were told to, and they felt that it was a responsibility because they didn't want to work on the farm with their parents, or they didn't want to work hard.
They were young.
They were young. They were very young. They just wanted to explore.
War
and they
is romantic to young boys.
It was. So they had a harsh reality as soon as they were put into the confines. They put on that uniform, they felt amazing. But as soon as they heard a musket or they heard...
Right. It got real.
It got real, and they didn't know what to do with themselves.
Oh. I just heard a noise.
I think that was Jim moving over there. What are you pointing at?
Something right here.
Yes?
And he's sitting.
What was that?
And he's just staring at you, wondering what you're doing here.
Uh-huh.
And he wants to know. I see his feet.
Yes.
So I'm trying to plant my feet into his feet. So I'm allowing him to stand the way he would stand. So I'm allowing him in me.
Oh. Hello?
I just saw an orb.
Where?
It was kind of over his shoulder, but...
He'll be sitting. He's hungry.
Oh.
He's waiting for food. Oh. Guys, I'm hearing footsteps.
Oh, I hear footsteps. Unless that was you,
I'm
Jim.
not moving. I keep my feet where they were.
Who's that?
There's little creaking noises coming to the very end of this wall. To the right, there's a lot of energy right there. See, the it's starting to wake.
It's starting to wake?
Yeah.
Oh no, that's not good.
Is that a bad thing?
Well, it's different type of energy that comes through now. It's
What does it
somebody
mean?
that's there's more power, there's more energy attached to these type of entities. They present themselves in a more powerful way. They
Does this mean that they're not nice?
They're more aggressive.
Oh, great.
When I was in there, it was like a flurry of energy that was just coming all at once. And I think they were preparing for war, they were preparing for battle, or there were children, there were women, there were men, and you can hear the muffling of the voices, the clanging of probably their bags, getting their ammunition ready. There was a whole bunch of different things, but not only the noise, it was the smell. I was smelling like, believe it or not, like the smell of porridge or oatmeal that was slightly burning, and fresh fruit, which was very rare in those times, that type of thing. I smelled oranges in there the whole time, which was very interesting.
So we're in the upper floor of the barracks. We're in the left-hand corner where you felt, Jim, there was some activity earlier today. You're feeling it still?
I'm still feeling the activity of the children more than anything else.
Okay, and we've got the recorder recording, so maybe we'll hear something. Hello, kids.
I can't believe I'm going to say this, but maybe we should try the spirit box.
Oh, you're drunk.
Maybe that'll help.
Do you have it?
I have it with me.
All right, we'll turn it on. Let's hear.
All right. Just give me a second to get this thing working properly.
All right.
And I'll set it up on its frequency. So what happens with this spirit box is it goes through multiple channels, FM, AM, which we have it on AM right now. And it's going to pick up a lot of information separately as it goes through the channels, and you might get some answers or one-word answers.
Okay.
So the spirits will grab an energy, and that's when they're able to talk to us. If we have a spirit box or an EVP, anything to that extent, that'll start throwing some lights off. They're grabbing all that energy so that they can have a power to speak to us if they want to speak to us or warn us about something, because all ghosts or spirits have something to say.
All right. Hello, kids.
Hello?
Hello?
Are you playing up here? Should you be here? Where are your parents? How old are you?
Is your parent up here with you and that's why you're here?
Can you tell me how old you are, please? I don't want to die. Can you tell me how old you are, please? 2. Tell me how old you are, really.
I also feel cold.
Are you sick? Are you old enough to be up here? You know who else is in the room? Can you say hi to one of us? Do you know our names? I know they're dead. Go away. Can you tell us who you are? Tourist season? Yes. You understand what that means? Can you tell me who's touching me behind my head, please? Who? Tell me who's touching me behind my head, please.
So apparently there's mud on my face because the spirit box we use, or what I like to call the broken radio, after the fact picked up a lot of voice. Now here's the thing. You sit next to a radio and you just keep turning the dial. Sooner or later you're going to hear enough one words, but not in the regularity that this thing. And I just need to say this for everyone at home. It's a good thing I didn't hear all that being said at the time, because I would have punched that broken radio in the throat.
You can stop now. I didn't ask for that. You can stop now.
Can you just say I don't want to?
Yes, I think so. You can stop anytime you like. I'll have to move. Made this up. No one's making this up.
I heard Raymond.
That's Raymond as well, I heard. Is Raymond coming with us, or is he still in the officer's quarters? You can stop touching me now. Honestly, they're all holding my hands, so I'm feeling very, I don't know, but I had to move my hands. I need to get
Out of here? I agree. That's a great idea.
Yeah,
let's
let's
get
go.
out of here.
Let's get out of here.
Yeah.
That's good enough for me.
They were able to understand that I was able to see them and feel them. The hands around me is something that I feel 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Presently, right now, I'm feeling people in front of me. So that is something that is interesting and should be understood. There's a lot of children that were there, don't know what they died of, and I can't explain it, but there were a lot of children there. I'm telling you, there's been a shift of the earth, or a shift of this energy, and everything pushes this way. And it starts...
You feel like the earth is not where it was initially.
No, not at all. And it feels like everything has been moving this way for years. And then, so all the spiritual side has left at the front gates, and it's so powerful over there.
In the back.
In the back.
Where the earth's been moved.
Yes.
Can we address that with Kyle?
To the tunnel?
To the tunnel then.
Okay, hold on. What? Wait a minute. Tunnel?
Yes, we're going to go in.
No one said anything about going into a dark, scary tunnel to me.
Okay, here's the thing. I'm one of those people that wants to believe in ghosts. I want to believe in UFOs. I believe there are ancient aliens, and anything in a museum that doesn't spend at least 3 exhibit pieces on that, I think is hiding something. That all said, when you hear these stories about people coming across aliens, ghosts, whatever, they're horribly frightening and very, very unnerving. And I think that the safest place to be when looking for these things is attached to a camera crew, because you never see anything happen. I have a friend who's a psychic. I know lots of camera people that aren't working like the rest of us. And I thought, we got nothing but time and a bunch of scary places in Canada to go look at.
It was very, very quiet at the beginning as we opened those gates, and Richard had opened up the door. I do remember that. And I felt very little. And it was, I was getting already disappointed, and it was starting to, this place isn't haunted. It's not, like, I was so disappointed. I'd been to so many different places and they're saying that it's haunted, and it wasn't. And I'm going, this isn't fun. But as the night progressed and we started getting our tour, and we started walking back to the end of the fort, that's where the activity started. That's when I started hearing voices. That's when I started feeling suffocated by so many different spirits, so many different languages, and they were going through me left, right, and center. And I was exhausted by an hour and a half going to the back of the fort.
So Kyle, you're joining us here in the barracks. We were just walking around, and Jim felt there was some activity upstairs, particularly some kids. But while he was talking to them, you said that you felt that everything had shifted.
Yes.
And you and I earlier, when Jim wasn't with us, in the officers' quarters, under the mirror that the lady shows up in, you were saying that when they rebuilt this in the 30s, they leveled it and shifted a bunch of earth to the back of the fort.
Yeah.
So that's why all the energy is that way.
That's certainly the popular theory, is that that's where all the actual dirt that was here historically is now piled. So
that's amazing for me. That's like an affirmation of why I pick up so much over here and so little over here. That blows my mind, because I don't feel very much until you start getting here, and then it starts to get worse. When we're at the officers' quarters, that is heavy. When we went to that washroom with Brian, it was like very, very heavy. And then you can see the color changes of our auras. They go into like a protective mode of our guides watching out for us. And that's what blows me away. So when I see even more, and then we move out there, but it's not nice energy over there. It's scrambled. They don't associate. They're sociopaths in a way, if that makes sense.
Are they with each other?
It's such a scramble. It's like walking into a subway, Richard, and all the noise all at once, or walking into a party room, and you're just hearing noises like we did at the restaurant. That's what I hear. So it's not defined all the time.
All right.
But they're not happy at that end, as much as everyone wants to believe.
So to the tunnel?
To the tunnel, then.
Okay, hold on, what? Wait a minute, tunnel?
Yes, we're going to go in.
No one said anything about going into a dark, scary tunnel to me.
Oh, you added the dark and scary.
It's a tunnel, of course it's dark and scary. Whoa.
Why?
I can't see anything.
But you don't need the light on.
But I don't want it off.
There we go.
Got back to Jim's head and nothing else. All right.
Hold on,
So this is...
Don't be afraid. Come this way with me, Brian.
No, I'm okay.
All right. So, is there anyone here? We come in peace.
Oh, there was a little groan there.
What was that?
That was a groan.
Are we bothering you? We don't mean to.
There's a very, very big heaviness in the corridor here.
Yes?
And I can actually feel them. But it's like I said, it's a group. It's just not one.
Oh my goodness.
Hello?
There's an energy in there that is not polite. It does have a demonic sense to it, but it's only 3/4 of the way in, and it's a very, I would say maybe 2 meters of very bad energy. When people walk through that, and if they sat within that 2 meter energy of that, people would be attacked or scratched, I guarantee it.
Are you there?
They're asking us to go deeper.
No, I don't want to.
No, I'm okay.
We'll come a little, hold on.
No.
Just a little deeper, guys.
Why do they want us to come deeper?
Because you can hear them talking better, they say.
But I don't want to hear them talking.
So we're not going to assume. And all I did is smell.
Yeah, it does smell good in here. Hello?
Someone's right. I'm just going to let you know right now, there's somebody who's actually in Simon's face.
In Simon's face.
In Simon's face.
Like in
Like
his
up
face.
front and looking at him directly?
Looking direct. Simon, there's someone in your face. And there's another face with him. That's amazing. You have a white entity around you that doesn't tell me who they are. And I'm assuming that's family for you. There's somebody there, Brian, right beside you as well. There's a lot of energy here, but it's just displaced energy because it's a mixture of everything. There's nothing that is solid. But it's amazing that I see 3 beautiful orbs of light around all 3 of you.
Oh, that's nice. That's good.
So
stuff.
it's very
That makes me
positive.
feel a little better. Not really, but a little better.
Hello?
Nothing ever went well in a tunnel. I just need to say this right away. So when the door closed, of course I pushed Brian down so they get him first and ran for the hills. I didn't know they were closing.
Do you think they got Jim? I hope so. I'm too afraid to die.
Anything's creepy at night, especially when it's old. The whole point of this thing is that none of the buildings there are original, so we're talking about energies. Now, this intrigues me. The idea that energies stay grounded literally to the ground, because the fact was they shifted a lot of dirt to the back. Jim said he felt a lot of energy moving back there and back there in general without knowing any of the history of the rebuilding of Fort George.
So interesting because that one freaked me out a little bit. Because I'm not supposed to understand or I don't figure out the shift. And it makes a lot more sense to me when I feel the energy because every step that we take, I feel it stronger and stronger and stronger. So maybe when I was getting sick over here, there was no activity at all, but I wanted to, because I walked by it with everybody else and I felt sick and I'm just like, the fear of everybody, it's a pandemonium of fear. There's just no way else, no other way to describe it. A shift of all the energy or a push of all the death that came this way basically is molded into this part of the property as far as I'm concerned. And maybe that's why I feel so much illness when I walk through that grass for 30 seconds. Then it stops immediately. But then when I come here, I have a shortness of breath because I'm picking up a lot more energy. So it's very interesting. It scares the shit out of me, but it's okay.
Holy jeepers. I may have soiled myself on several different occasions. I could barely think. I could barely do anything but let out decidedly unmanly screams.
Oh, we come in peace.
Fort George as a whole is a very interesting place for anyone who's interested in any type of ghost hunting. I'm sure you'll pick something up at that time, and they're all friendly. A majority of them are friendly. You have 99.9% of them are friendly. It's that 1% that if you're asking for it, they'll come out there, and that is something that you definitely don't want to ask for.
I never felt threatened. I never felt in danger. I just was afraid, like any good red-blooded human would be. If you're not afraid in an odd situation, you're next. Okay, so we spent the night at Fort George. Things went bump? We may or may not have heard a few things. I may or may not have seen a chair move. All of it is still suspect. Next time you hear a knock knock, don't answer it. It could be a ghost.
Poltergeist is not a friendly thing to be around. He clung to me for almost 3 days after we left. But he was there to disturb the entities, to stop the spirituality of happiness from coming out. And he was attacking Richard because Richard was the tallest, the largest person out there, the one that we should have feared because he was the biggest man there. It wants me to be afraid.
Oh, it does?
Yes.
Why is that?
It's this is a separate entity from everything else that's in here.
Oh, I see.
And it's very, very abusive.
What? What happened?
I've just felt something.
Where?
Touch my back.
It's just very
The small of your back? Just on your back in general?
Yeah, my wing, the wing of my
Oh, no.
left wing.
It's sitting behind you in the chair, and it's laughing.
Oh, this evil entity?
Yeah. It's totally getting off on this thing, guys. This is not a joke. He is freaking evil.
Oh my god. Okay, all right, I'm good. Yeah. Yay! We're doing great.
You guys are all protected. Don't even worry. He's not interested in you. He's more interested in me. He doesn't like the fact that I can walk around in the dark like he does, and he feels very, very vulnerable right now because he's been doing it for over 123 years.
Sorry to interrupt, guys. I'm going to get you with the EVP to talk to it and see if...
Hey,
I just want to come around.
Here, let's just put it right here on the table.
Kyle?
Yeah.
This guy is not good.
Okay.
We're gonna... Give me a second here, because he's like a son of a bitch. He powers over you, Richard. He's trying to show us his size, and he's like,
Do I threaten him with mine?
you threaten him, that's why he tried to grow the same size as you?
But can he sense I'm not a threat? Or is he just threatened in general?
He's just threatened in general. He is really, really all over you right now.
Saw a shadow. Okay.
Going through his bag.
No, I saw something outside.
Oh.
I don't know if it was a staff member, but I saw a dark shadow walking around outside.
Yeah, I saw it too. I think it's just
A staff member?
yeah.
Okay, good.
He went right back to you, Richard.
He's back over to me?
Yeah.
Oh, maybe I should.
Okay. We're not interesting anymore. We're not interesting anymore.
So whatever he was interested in, he realized.
He realized that we're not playing games.
No.
And he doesn't want to. He knows that we're not going to be afraid of him.